Okay, YouTubers, this is the second video of hopefully about 10 videos about how to make the Tron-like effect on your model. And I'm using a model of a man that um, I got most of it open source, but I changed it to look more like myself. In the first video, I showed you how to add the seams. We can see the seams here. Let me show you what this is going to look like when we're finally done. Here, check it out. Okay, now that hopefully you're excited, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to UV map our figure. Now, why this is normally complicated is we have to take a three-dimensional figure and we have to somehow map it to a two-dimensional figure so we can add an image. So how I like to do this is I like to move this over, and you go down to this little thing here and you change it to UV image editor. Okay, you can see this is my old image and I'll remove it. So we're starting fresh. I'm gonna, oh, it's still there. We're gonna remove it. I'm gonna highlight, and you can see these are my old mappings, but I don't want to use those. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to Mesh, UV Unwrap Reset. Okay, so this is probably what you'll see. Everything is mapped to the whole UV map. So these are all the individual polygons. Obviously, you could go through here and organize them, and that would take forever. Or you can go over here, hit A in edit mode. You're in edit mode, by the way. By hitting A, you select everything. I'm going to go to Mesh, UV Unwrap, Unwrap, and then it unwraps everything. Now, first we have to look for errors because we did just finish the seaming, and there most likely we missed something. So let's look for any overlaps. That looks like a leg, a chest. It's like an arm, Don't see the hands, which means something must have went wrong. This is the face. Oh, there's overlap here. Let me show you. See these guys? They're underneath. And we definitely don't want that, because if we write texture here, it's also going to apply to those polygons. Oh, this is probably the hand. If you could check this out, it looks like we missed some seams. So what we're going to go is we're going to go look at the hand and hit the decimal to focus. And you can see there are the seams we missed. So let's add those real quick. Beautiful. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's go to Mesh. Oh, gotta highlight everything. Mesh, Unwrap. Okay, well the hand's definitely moved. So there's the top of the hand, which is good because we're going to want to apply stuff. And there is the bottom of the hand. It looks kind of funky, but it looks that way because this is the height of the hand. It's this part that it's flattened out. And since we're not going to add too much textures to the bottom, this is fine. If you wanted more control over this, you can definitely make another seam that isolated the bottom more directly. But I'm not going to do that right now. The other one I want to address is the mouth and the nostrils. So let's again hit decimals. Let's make a seam around the nostrils. And, whoops. And we'll add that seam, and then I want to make a seam around the mouth. Now here's an interesting thing. Sometimes you can't get to what you really want to get to. One approach is to turn on wireframe. So we want to wrap this around the inside of the lip, because we want the inside of the mouth to be a separate texture. So where do we cut it off? We can cut it off right here. This may be very hard to see on YouTube. And we'll add the seam there. So now we've seamed off the center of the, once you go inside the mouth. Alrighty. So now I think we have everything. So let's highlight everything again and say mesh. And then we're going to say unwrap. Alright, let's check it out. Definitely you can see that the mouse moved. And but you can still see that we have some overlap. So what we're going to do is we're going to manually modify this a little bit, and we're going to bring these down. Sometimes it's hard to see because they overlap, but thankfully the way Blender does selection is it also highlights some of the line connected to the dot that you're selecting. And there we go. Now we don't have any overlapping on the face. Definitely doesn't look like a face. So how can we solve that? One thing we can do is we can click on the face, hit, I think, Shift L. Oh. No, that's selecting everything. I want to select everything in a region. Border select. Let's try that. Nope. Okay, I'm going to pause it till I figure it out. I'll be right back. Alright, I figured it out. Okay, the problem was I was in the wrong mode. Let's get out of wireframe, go to solids, and then down here you can see this is an interesting tool down here. You can select by vertex, edge, or face. We're going to switch it to face. Hit Control L, and there we get the face. Let's hit 1 and get right in front. And we want it to look more like this. So we're going to say mesh, unwrap, project from view. Why can't I click that? Alright, I'm pausing it again. Okay, when I last paused it, what I was trying to do was I was trying to make this more like a normal face. You can see how it's deformed. And previously in Blender, you could hit this project from view. And I was like, oh, it's disabled. What do I do? Well, being in the software world, I totally understand that there are bugs and things don't go the way they should. And but sometimes if you go a different route than the original route, even though it was disabled one way, it'll work another way. Well, go press enter and type in project from view, and there it is. Click it and check that out. That is beautiful. Now, you can choose to see it in either perspective, whichever one you want, if this is a little bit more meaningful to you, or better design. I kind of like it because it does make the nose a little bit bigger, and in a normal picture the nose would look bigger. So we're going to do it again. Again, it's disabled, but we'll hit enter, project from view, boom. Alright, now I only have the face selected, but if I select everything, you'll see that now the face is stuck within the rest of the screen. We don't want that. So go back, select the list, click on the face and hit L. There's the face. Okay, we're going to highlight it by hitting A, and we're going to hit G to move it, and we're going to move it out of the way. And then we're going to highlight everything else. So now we need to find some room for this, and we want the face to be fairly big because we're definitely going to want to put some textures on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces here. They don't look that exciting. And we're going to highlight them and hit S, and we're going to shrink them. We're going to move them over here so they're out of the way. And we're going to take our head. A good way to select, by the way, is hit B and then highlight. Hit G to move, S to resize. And there is our face. Let's save. And we now have a pretty good UV mapping. Very cool. Okay, thank you for watching.